At the time this film was made, there clearly was a virus going around that caused a sudden fever for climactic chases through big man-made mazes. I'm thinking of The Sewers and He Walked by Night and The Third Man, both of which predated, barely, the big climax of this picture. Director of photography Franz Planer did a terrific job, not just with the scenes inside the dam, but the entire film. Now, he was often billed as Frank Planer in the credits, hiding, for some reason, his Eastern European roots. He was born in Czechoslovakia, did most of his early film work in Austria, and came to Hollywood in 1937 to embark on a career that would see him nominated 5 times for the Best Cinematography Oscar. Now, he's got a number of evocative noir films to his credit, including The Face Behind the Mask, The Chase, 99 River Street, and one of the genre's genuine masterpieces, Crisscross. This movie, 711 Ocean Drive, was one of the rare Joanne Dru appearing in a crime film, unless you count the noir-stained All the King's Men, which she'd made the previous year. On that film, she was reunited with actor John Ireland, whom she'd met making the classic Red River in 1948. Now, she divorced her husband, singer Dick Haymes, to marry Ireland. And frankly, it's a little odd seeing her in a contemporary crime film if you're used to seeing her on horseback or tending the hearth in westerns like She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, Wagon Master, or Vengeance Valley. And I also want to give a shout out to bit player Robert Osterloh, who has a pretty substantial role by his standards as Geetsy, the hitman Mal rubs out in classic noir fashion.
I'll be seeing you, partner.
After Rudolph Maté gave Osterloh his first small role in the 1948 picture The Dark Past, the actor became a fixture in film noir, enacting memorable bits in Gun Crazy, White Heat, Crisscross, and The Prowler, and many more. More often than not, he was the guy on the losing end of a tense tete-a-tete. Hey, there had to be somebody to call when Elijah Cook was busy. As for director Joe Newman, he enjoyed a long career, starting as an assistant director before assuming the director's chair for himself after service in World War II. He made a couple of other solid noirs, Abandoned in 1949 and The Human Jungle in 1954. But he's probably best known as the director of the camp sci-fi favorite, This Island Earth. Now, feature films ended for Joe in the 1950s, but he easily made the transition to the small screen, directing hundreds of hours of episodic TV, including pretty good episodes of The Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Now, if Newman wasn't a forceful stylist, it could have had something to do with his personality. I found him to be a mild, low-key, humble guy, a craftsman who was more than competent, but perhaps a little too grateful just to have a steady job in the Dream Factory. Now remember, we're keeping the conversation going over on our Noir Alley Facebook page and on Twitter, so be sure to join in. Now, as for what's coming up next, look, I don't care about that vacation you had planned or some tawdry Saturday night tryst you've got lined up, or if you're on plate passing duty at your local parish. Attendance is mandatory in Noir Alley next week. That's because I am showing my favorite movie of all time. So don't disappoint me. Be here. And now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta have a drink and call my bookie.